Welcome back, friends, and a happy new year to you. In the last episode we talked about reference and planning. Today I'm going to move on to setting up the scene for modeling. Let's open up Maya and start a new scene. And the first thing I'm going to do is to bring in the scan data that I prepared. I'm going to position this so that it's in the middle of the scene. This might seem like a very small thing to do, the scene setup, but it's a very important step of the whole project. I want to make sure that I have everything to scale before I begin modeling. So that's what I'm going to do next. I'm going to bring in this scanned piece of blueprint that I have from the Tamiya model. Looks like this. So that's going to be a great reference together with the scan data. In Maya, I like to use the free image planes to do this because they have some special options when it comes to blueprints. First of all, attach the image. And now we need to scale this to the correct size. So we need to know how long the vehicle is. I'm going to search for Lotus 49 length. Okay, so 158 inches. We have the wheelbase here, which is 95 inches. That's a good reference. What's that? 95 inch to centimeter. 241.3. Okay. So I'm going to create a cube. 241.3 centimeters. Now I'm going to scale this down. The wheelbase is from the center of the front wheel to the center of the rear wheel. I'm going to move my pivot point to the center of the front wheel, somewhere around there. Position that over the edge of the cube that I made, and then I'm going to scale it until the rear lines up like that. So now we have the correct wheelbase. Move this behind the car. It's going to be side view. We're going to rotate all of this in a group called scan data. Put all of this in a group called reference. The scan data should be rotated. I always like to point things in the Z direction. That means in the side view, we get the car pointing to the left. This is the side view. Just gonna move it over here. We are going to adjust this. placing the blueprint so that the wheels are touching the line. We need to adjust the scan data a little bit. Too small right now. I'm going to put the pivot point right here by the window. Then it's just a matter of scaling until it matches up with the rest of the car. Which I don't think it ever will, but we have to make it somewhat correct at least. That's one of the problems with scan data, or I mean blueprints, is that they very seldomly line up correctly. You see we have a slight discrepancy here. The front looks good, but the windscreen is somewhat off here. But that's fine. I'm gonna keep it in the ballpark. I will probably use the scan data more than I will use the blueprints anyway, so. But now we have the size of the scan data. We have it sitting in the middle. That's the side view done. I can duplicate this. Create the top view. It matches pretty okay. Do the others. Front view. Somewhere around there. We can see that the scan data is somewhat skewed. We're gonna have a look at that. Bit tilted. Okay. Copy the rear one, rotate it to the front. I need to create a new camera. Oh, we don't have a rear view on the blueprint, so it's going to be unnecessary. So I am mainly going to work in the perspective view, and I don't want these blueprints to show up in here. I only want them to show up in the corresponding flat views. So I'm going to go into each one of them and assign them to a viewport. So this one is going to be seen looking through the camera front. So now we can see that it disappeared from the perspective view, and I can only see it here in the front view. I'll do the same for the side So now we have a very clean perspective view, and if we need to double check something on the blueprint, we can go into the specific view to do that. And also when I model, I don't want to accidentally move any blueprints around, so I'm going to put them into a group, and I'm going to take the reference group and create a new layer, assign all the objects in there to this layer, and then lock it. So now I can't touch any of the reference data. And if I need to make an adjustment, I just go and unlock that layer. So let's save the scene. Okay, so we have the scene started, saved, and I think that's it. I think we are ready to start modeling. As we go along with the modeling, we're going to have to make all adjustments to this reference material here. Same thing goes for reference images. At certain points in the project, I will have to go and search for specific details. But that's a very organic process back and forth, basically. I think that's it for today. All right, take care. Bye-bye.